Hey everyone, excuse me. Welcome back to another spiritual principle a day. My name is John Clayton. I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic, and I've been clean and sober since February 21st, 2021. It's now May 26th, 2026. Forgiveness, acceptance, and healing. Page 151. Walking with the knowledge that someone has not forgiven us is hard, but through it, we find levels of forgiveness and acceptance that we may not have known were possible. Living Clean, Chapter 5, Amends and Reconciliation. Over time in NA, we learned that we are worthy of forgiveness. That discovery comes in part as a result of making our Step 9 amends. Part of our preparation for this process is to understand why we are doing it. To make meaningful and lasting changes in our lives, we must make peace with the consequences of our actions and the harm we've caused. While being forgiven by those we've hurt is a blessing, finding self-acceptance cannot be conditional on another's actions. We must reconcile with ourselves to heal from our past. Forgiving ourselves is not contingent on receiving forgiveness from those we've harmed. Reconciliation may not always be possible. Though we may believe we deserve to be heard and forgiven, some will understandably stonewall our efforts. What then? It's pretty hard to gain the courage to undertake this process, but then we have to be humble enough to accept the reaction, even if it's flat-out rejection. That rejection may be excruciating for those of us whose self-esteem hinges entirely on being liked by others. We ask ourselves, am I even still worthy of forgiveness? How do I walk through this? No one is obligated to forgive us. We are powerless over other people's willingness or readiness. In a situation like this one, we have one option for healing: move forward. That may take time because rejection is painful. As hard as it is to accept, we have to find a way to live with the pain without inflicting it on others. We must try to forgive ourselves for the consequences of our actions. Not being forgiven is its own beast, and its own lessons in practicing spiritual principles. The experience might give us pause. The next time we want to rebuff someone else's amends, we may be quicker to forgive because we know what it's like to experience that wall and how much effort it takes to live without that and let it go. Today, I will strive to accept my past and move on from it. Others may not. All I can do today and every day is to do better. And amen to that. It took a long time for me to be able to forgive myself, to accept myself. For the longest time, I just didn't like who I was, I didn't like who I become, and I didn't know how to escape from that. And one thing that makes it hard for me, because, I don't have any family left, or all the people who I have harmed or hurt through my years of addiction, all they got to see was the bad side of me. And since I've been clean and sober, nobody's got a chance to see how much I've changed or the new new person that I've become, because it's true, I am a totally different person than I ever was before. And I like who I am today, and you know, and the fact that, you know, okay, I had a few close calls during my active addiction, and I don't want to die. And you know, I also, when I do die, you know, I don't want my life or the rest of my life to be pointless. You know, I mean, I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but I know that I'm trying to figure out how I can put myself out there or get myself out there and, you know, be a part of something bigger than myself, and so that way, you know, at least when I do die, you know, I can die knowing that, you know, I did something that was relevant in the world, you know, or I did something that was positive for the world. And I don't know what that means or what that even looks like. I mean, I don't know. And then not knowing the right people, and you know, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just one day at a time, and you know, all I know is that, you know, I'm still clean and sober. It's been over 4 years, as long as I've ever been able to stay clean and sober. And I'm just trying to be a better person than I was yesterday. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining me today. I appreciate all of you. If nobody's told you today that they love you, well, I love you, and I hope to see you all again real soon. Okay, bye for now.